Now there is one other thing that I want to have a look at. Very often when I've seen people making this sound, they sometimes when they're first playing the djembe, they get something like this. I'd like to say that I used to think it was people's hands were too stiff, but sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes the fingers are just dead and they're just coming down like that. Now it can either be two things. What might be happening as you come down is that you might be pushing your fingers forward. And if you do that, it's going to take all the sort of the shock wave of your hand making impact, and it's going to be muffling the sound. Or it just might be the case, as I said, that your hands are really rigid and stiff. So I'm going to show you a little exercise, because what we need to do is get some suppleness in the fingers here. Because essentially the fingers are going to be the thing this time that wants to bounce off the drum. So here's how you do it. I'm going to get my wrist, and I'm really going to keep my wrist in a sort of a locking position like that, because I don't want the wrist to get involved in this movement. So we want to stop the wrist from moving. We want to get free movement happening from the fingers here. And using my elbow, I'm going to just flick from my elbow. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the fingers to start to flap a little bit, like this. Just like that. So I can just feel the sensation in my fingers on their own accord, freely being sort of moved by that bit of a jerk I've got on my elbow. Now if you get really good at this, you can get this rather unusual sound. So that's the sound of one hand clapping. Don't worry if you can't get that sound. Even you just getting a small sense of movement, free movement with the fingers, that'll be suffice, that'll be enough. So when you start to apply that exercise and you get suppleness in your fingers, starting with the resting position, as your hand comes up, you might notice there's a complete bounce or rebound from my fingers here. Now obviously if you're first playing, you could cheat, I guess, and you could just take them off. But like I was saying before, it's really good practice to have your hands in some sort of a resting position after you've come down with a strike. So working with that, fingertips 2 inches here, knuckles outside of the danger point, and fingers supple. And then you'll start to get the tone.